Howdy folks, how's it going? Lost all me toasters. Righto, that'll get us out of trouble. Tasting day on this fella. This is the latest year of beer brew, the summer ale beer I call the Swindle Me Summer, or Swindle Me, named after the old James Squire Swindler. The story's back there on Brew Day. It's been told many times how this name come about. This brew, it's part of the year of beer brew. This is well, it has become, over the past weekend, a quite popular beer with the family. They were up for the wife's 50th birthday, and it's got a bit of a hit. I was concerned that I was actually not going to have any of it left to do this video on, because I haven't sat down and done it. Now this brew actually finished, it was bottled or kegged on the 7th of April, so it's somewhere around 7 weeks in the keg. And part of the reason I wanted to leave it was because it did take a little while for it to clear out. It was reasonably hazy initially. It was still a really nice looking beer early on, and was still drinking really well, but this is more the finish that this beer is aimed at. It's not aimed to be a cloudy beer. It's a summer beer. It's a light pub ale, a light draft, that sort of thing. It's not like a Pacific ale. It's not designed to be, cloudy. Just a quick look at the rest. The actual ingredients. It's it's a base malt. In this instance, it was pale Compass Voyager, Compass. So it's just a pale ale malt. It was about 8.5% dextrose and then 6.5% of flaked corn. So it's sort of rolling around that cream ale sort of a vibe. I've always sort of called it a summer ale, because that's the beer it was sort of looking to recreate, and it's just really smashable in summer. So anyway, yeah, there's a bit of bloody chill haze popping up on the glass, but she's lovely carbonated. It's got just a really light, fruity sort of a note. Amarillo, 30 minutes in the boil for a bit of bittering, then late in the boil. Strata at flame out, and then in a dry hop. So it starts off with that very typical light American sort of pale ale sort of a vibe with the Amarillo, and the Strata brings home some of the fruit, a little bit of the some passion fruit, peach, slipping into sort of the wider edges of the citrus and stone fruit sort of a vibe. Lovely head, presents nice. It's light. It's a nice malt there. It's dryish on the mouth. The body's leading. It's on the thinner side of medium. It's not super thin. Finished at 1008 this batch, for a 4.7 ABV. I think previous batches may have been a little bit, well, they're probably all finished around there. And again, that's that dextrose in the corn bringing in those fermentables that don't bring in a lot of flavour, helping them bring down, especially the dextrose. I think I remember I brought the dextrose up a little bit on this batch. I've previously done it with USO5 at 12 degrees, trying to keep it really clean, and I think the 12 degrees from last year's, as much as it was really well received for me. It left just a little weird edge under the bottom. This year I went at 14 degrees, so I pushed it. Everyone knows I like 15 as a sort of fake lager, with that clean sort of finish with the USO5. I pushed this to 14, so I wanted to really get it clean, and get it as much lager-like as I could, whilst I said not bringing that sort of weird little note that I picked up last year, and I've been really successful at doing that. So it was 14 degrees for 5 days, then 19 at 6 days, to make sure we were clearing any weirdness that did come along with that ferment. And a 5-day cold crash, a good cold crash before packaging up. It's running a fairly decent carb level, a little bit higher than I'd normally carb. Looking for 2.6. I think I'm probably sitting fairly close to that. And that's a little bit partly just pure good luck, because of that tap it's on tends to, even though it's all running, the whole fridge is running across mini regs, they all pretty much sit at serving pressure. But that one reg is just sitting a little bit higher than the others, where I think most of them are running, probably pushing through 12 psi. It tends to be pushing about 14, so it does carry just a little bit more carb level, which works really nice. So original gravity on this was let's get back where we original gravity was 1044, and finished at 1008. So that's, like I said, that's lending to that nice light body. It starts off very just clean, soft malt, crisp. I said that lightness, it's got a very lager-like feel when it starts. And then as the beer starts to leave your mouth, you start getting that little bit of the fruit start coming on the back. The first fruit, you get the passion fruit. Then the stone fruits sort of start to take over a little bit from there. There's a touch of lemon. There's a bit of a berry note, a little bit of green, sort of pushing towards a honeydew feel, but not really too extravagant. But it just drinks really nice, really easy. So it almost presenting itself as a slightly hoppy, fruity lager. So like I've said this many times with the USO5, that down that 14 and 15 degrees. If you want your lager-like beers without the drama of lager yeast and the extra pitch and the mucking around that can go along with it, that's a fantastic way of doing it. Notice that the beer is sitting much cleaner and clearer now, at 7 weeks than it was, say, at 3 weeks. But at 3 weeks it was still a very drinkable beer. The hops have subdued a little bit, obviously with 7 weeks. That late dry hopping of the strata has settled, so the fruitiness is not as much. So as a young beer, this is still very, very drinkable. And it just presents a little bit differently as it ages. And as such, it's not a completely, bad beer to have on tap if you're not a quick drinker, because you sort of get like a couple of different experiences out of it as it ages. But yeah, buddy, very nice. It would be interesting to try that with I really think something like a Sequoia or a Sativa hop, as opposed to Strata. Even to bring it into if you wanted to bring it into a real lagery type finish. Still working with the Amarillo up front, because I think the Amarillo just works really well. But I think a Sativa or a Sequoia, even something like a lemon drop, something that's a bit more subtle, would drop the hop edge down a little bit and really bring you into lager territory. And as I said, a beer brewed with US-05, that you will fool 98% of beer drinkers into believing they're drinking a properly made lager. I've made plenty of lagers that aren't that crisp and clean. So yeah, it's a thumbs up. I said, yeah, I look, the recipe itself works as it is, as it was on the original brew day. The links are there. Can easily brew it with absolutely no changes at all. But just some slight little changes. I said with the hops, working it, make it a little bit of your own thing. But if you've not tried Strata, give it a go. It's a great hop. Mine come from Kevy Bristol, the hopping mechanism. He got me on it. He gave me a small bag of it to try. It was a win, because it's been a bloody great hop and I've really liked it ever since. I used it when I first came out a couple of years back, and it's never really grabbed on, and I don't know why. Because it works really good. But anyway, that's it. Before I run out, we're going to wrap this up. So cheers and thank you to all the patrons of the channel. Thank you folks for all your support. Helps me get everything done on the channel, the playing around experiments and whatnot. If you're interested, there's a link down the bottom, Patreon. If you subscribe to the channel, thank you very much as well. If you aren't, maybe think about hitting the subscribe button. If you do, ring the bell, you get notified, you don't miss any videos. And if you like what's going on, give the video a thumbs up. It all helps me keep doing the bloody stuff I like to do, and do videos for you guys, and experiment, muck around and play around and drink beer. But anyway, for now, that's me. So until I see you in the next video, and we're brewing beer, drinking beer, or talking beer, good brewing. It's not a bad looking glass at the end either.